งสัยจะทานหมดหรือเปล่าได้แล้วโอเค Well, good morning and Happy New Year. As this is just the fourth day of this year. Well, I don't know what you expect. Is there any expectations? Oh, it's a good New Year. No expectation at all. Generally, people expect a lot, especially with the New Year. Any topics you are interested in? I guess that you have been in Thailand for a few days, a few weeks, I'm not sure.
Some 1 week, some 2 weeks, almost.
I see.
So, my name is David Kleist, and I'm a professor in the Department of Counseling.
Oh, that's so you wrote me an email or something like that.
Right, yeah. And so, we have students here that are getting their master's in counseling, clinical mental health, school counseling. We also have 2 doctoral students that are getting their PhD in the education and supervision of counselors. So I think our general framework, and we also have Kelly who's getting a master's in health education. So I think there's a general interest in how Thai culture or Buddhism informs the creation of health, or how Buddhism in Thailand approaches health or mental health.
Yes, excellent. รู้สึกว่าจะทานหมดบ้างอันนี้มีไม่พอดมีอีกตัวไหมรู้สึกว่าทานหมดหรือว่าเขาไม่ได้ชาร์จไว้ไปอยู่สักพักหนึ่งก็ดับ
So I think we're out of battery.
Well, it's a very interesting subject indeed, and I'm not sure I'm the right person to talk about it or not, but I will try my best. But as you are in this ground called Wat Bowon Nawit, so I guess that I will start with a little bit of Than Mod.
Maybe the folks in the back row maybe you could just speak.
I guess so. Okay, let's try. In this very ground called Wat Bowon Nawit, so I guess that I will just introduce a bit of information about this very temple. I don't know how it might be a first time to be here in this temple.
Yes.
But for many, maybe you may know somebody who established this temple. Are you familiar with the story of the king and I? Yes. And this is the very temple where that very king was the abbot for over 20 years. That very king, the King Mongkut, the King Rama IV, he was ordained at the age of 20, just as a customary ordination, as every Thai male do in Thailand. In Thai culture, it is some kind of a rite of passage. They believe that before they get married, they have to be ordained as a Buddhist monk for a certain period. So it could be around 20, because 20 is the age which is required by the Buddhist monastic rule to get the high ordination. If you are less than 20, you will be just a novice. But if you are from 20 on, you can be a high ordination as a Buddhist full-fledged monk. So it is a custom in Thailand that everyone get ordained at around 20. It means that around 18 and 19, every male they'll serve for the military, for the country, and after they have served the country, then they have to learn how to be a man by ordaining a Buddhist monk. So in a way that a Buddhist monk is not a rite of passage, it certifies that you are eligible for a marriage. You are a suitable bridegroom. Because in the old days, it is asked by people when you are asked for someone's hand for marriage. The parents of that girl, the first question will be put forward is that, have you ordained? So ordination is a plus point before you get married. Which also means that it refers to a little bit of your questions. It also refers to that when you're ordained, it is kind of certification that you are mentally, spiritually trained, virtually trained, so that you can take care of another being that is who is becoming your wife. So ordination as Buddhist monk, it's not a religious purpose only here, but it has become a spiritual, it has become a kind of a rite of passage, but it is also very deeply connected with how you become a man in this Thai society. So King Mongkut, he was ordained just customarily as at the age of 20. But after on, his elder brother was King Rama III. He was ruling the country. So he decided that it is more interesting. He grew his interest in Buddhism at the time. Then he asked all these very controversial questions which general people not dare enough to ask. As a prince, so he's always challenging his teachers at that time. So he went out and he says that his teacher, preceptor, says that as a Buddhist monk we have to meditate, for example. And this prince says that I hate meditation. Why? I have to sit, keep my back straight. It gives me back pain. Why? Why I have to meditate? And I guess that the teacher is not erudite enough or not good enough to explain the way he was so much kind of want to learn. But the teacher says that no, we are Buddhist monk. It is our custom. It is our tradition. It is our practice to meditate. You will know by yourself. I said that if I don't know why I have to meditate, so why should I? It gave me back pain. I don't want to be pain. I'm not ordained to kind of torture myself. And so he was not satisfied with teaching. So he left his teacher. And then once he can't get his answer, what he did is that he tried to search for the answer by himself. So that's why he sucked into the Buddhist text. He got sucked into the Buddhist text. He got sucked into the Buddhist research. And he went and learned the Pali language, the language of the Buddha, which all the Buddhist scriptures was recorded. And finally, he forgot that he was just ordained for a custom. It just carried on. He was just loving it. He learned so many languages. He learned English. He learns Latin. He learned I don't know how many languages. Being a Buddhist monk, he's become so erudite. He's become a so much knowledgeable prince, monk. Not only in Buddhism, but all other linguistic languages. And also, his good friend was, I think it's a bishop from America at the time. And his temple, this temple was still under construction at the time. And then he was in the small other temple. And next to that temple was the church. So he made a good friend of that bishop. And at the time, the King Rama III banned all Christian missionaries to teach Christianity in Thailand. He doesn't want that his elder brother. And this younger brother who was a monk, and then who became abbot of this temple, the king and I, he became a good friend of that bishop, and then asked that, okay, if my elder brother didn't allow you to teach Christianity, come and teach in my monastery. This is here. This temple here, come and teach in my monastery. But in one condition. You have to teach English to my disciples. So he forced every Buddhist monk in this temple to learn English at the time. And also to learn Christianity at the time. And he even challenged the bishop that if you are able to convert any of my Buddhist monks, well, you are welcome to do so. I wouldn't mind at all. And this is the place where he invited Christian missionary to teach Christianity to Buddhist monk. Sort of a first time in Thai history. And he was an abbot here. And then while he was abbot here, he studied so many languages, and he started to have this new idea of Buddhism. Says that, in fact, Buddhism, as most of Thai believes, it's become very customary, ritualistic, superstitions, and so on. But through my study in all those texts, there isn't anything which he sees in Thai society. So it made him so upset. What happened to Buddhism? Buddhism is so scientific. Buddhism is so sort of, thought-provoking. Buddhism is always challenging your thought. But nobody in Thailand trying to look for that part of Buddhism at all. They took Buddhism as a ritual. They took Buddhism as a superstitions. You go to the, just like I go to temple and then pray and this and that, ask this and that from the Buddha. And he says that, how on earth is possible? Buddha died 2,500 years ago. What Buddha can do to us? Buddha is not a god. So he revived, he modernized Thai Buddhism from this very temple. And after he challenges so many scholars of that period, so all his writings and all the chantings, for example, in Thailand, all over Thailand, which is all Buddhist monks' chants every morning and every evening. Actually, he composed himself in Pali language. And then he make all those chanting instead of praying. Before some of the pathas praying. So he doesn't want that praying. He says that Buddha can't do anything. Buddha can't help us. But we have to try to be Buddha ourselves. Buddha in the sense of knowing. Buddha in the sense of realization. Buddha in the sense of clear comprehension. Buddha in the sense of a full of mindful awareness. So he gave actually it was the old original meaning of the Buddha, but people took it as the founder of religion, took it as similar to the God. But he says that no, it wasn't portrayed in the Buddhist custom, Buddhist teachings at all. But in Buddhist teaching is that you have to be learned. As long as we are not learned, we are unlearned. And once we unlearn, we become believer. Buddha said that we can't believe in anything. Buddha always challenged us about our thought, about our belief system. And he said that believing is equivalent to not knowing. If you believe it, you say you don't know. If I say that this paper can fly, then if you don't know, you have to believe me, if I'm trustworthy. But if you try yourself and then you fold it in one way or another, and then it can fly, it really fly, then you don't have to believe, it's become a knowledge. So the whole idea of Buddhism is not to believe and destroy all belief. As long as you are unlearned, as long as you are not getting into the problem, then you will still keep on latching on belief. But if you are clear comprehended, if you are gone through the introspections of it, and that there is no such thing as belief, because everything is become knowledge, everything is become provable, everything you can try by yourself. So that is how Buddhism was portrayed by the King and I. It's called Dhammayut Nikaya. That's why it's called the Order of the Dhammayut. This is the headquarters here. Means that follow the righteousness according to the Dharma. Dharma, for many familiar, maybe there is teachings. In Indian language, it's become a religion, Dharma. But in fact, the Dharma or Dhamma in Pali, it is very simple. Dhamma, Dharma, literally, etymologically, it just means upholding, things which uphold. I am Anil. I am Anil because all my ingredients are upholding to a right balance. So if it's things unbalanced, if it's not supporting its own holding, I become sick. If too severe, then I die. So it means that the disintegration of the things is to keep in balance. So things which keep balance to its in a level that it can keep its own nature, that is called Dharma. So that is the Dhamma. So it is not only Buddhist teachings in general. So that's why in Buddhism it's called Noble Truth. So this our idea was given, and then he taught. And suddenly this became a new school or a new sort of lineage of Buddhism in Thailand. And he started this kind of modernization of Buddhism in Thai society from this very temple. He was a Buddhist monk for up to 27 years. Then his elder brother, who was the king, passed away. And at that time, there was a big problem in Thailand, was colonialism. Many countries trying to get this in Thailand. And then they thought that the people at the cabinet at the time, they thought that there's no suitable person who can really counter this problem of colonialism, imperialism at the time. If other princes who are good at the military, who are good at all of the things, we weren't able to save Thailand from colonialism. So the cabinet came to this temple and then asked this very monk, who is very erudite in Buddhism. He's very good at Buddhism and modernizing Buddhism, the Buddhist practice and so on. Said that venerable ones, we need you. The country needs you. You are very good at Buddhism, but Buddhism can't survive without the country. So country needs you. So we want you to be a king. As cabinet asked that, okay, if there's a choice of a cabinet, so I will accept your invitation. So he disrobed at the age of 47. And then he went to become a king. And the whole story of King and I started from there. So this is the very place. And he was the first abbot of this temple. And this temple was built actually founded by one of his uncle, in a sense. And at that time, there's a lot of rumors going on for that very prince monk. Said that this prince monk was upset that he should throne the country, he should rule reign the throne, but his elder brothers got it. So he was so upset. That's why he kind of hide himself under the robe, and he's trying everything to do sort of in trying to get to the throne or something like that. All rumors going on. And he was saying that, excuse me, I'm a Buddhist monk, I'm practicing Buddhism, I don't have any desire of reigning the country and anything. Until he was so upset, and then his elder brother was so upset with that rumor also. And then in order to stop all the rumor, his elder brother did that, moved one small building from the palace to this temple. And it says that, done that, although he's a monk, although he's a homeless, he still is my brother. He still has a royalty in a way that we stop all the rumor. So there's a lot of the stories of Thai stories going back in this temple. This is actually the building which was built around King Rama VI in order to set as a school which was set by the the statue over there. The statue over there is Prince Vajrayanwarorot, who happened to be the son of that very king and the King Mongkut. After he disrobed at the age of 47, he died at the age of 67, and he gave birth to, I think, altogether 84 children. Prince and princess, 84 of them. I guess for many of us it's very unusual. But from the point of, I guess that political and a public administration and so, I think that is the only chance that he could spread his power so quickly that nobody can, unturn his power in a kind of sort of authority at the time. That's my interpretation, I guess. Because what happened is that at the time, being a royalty, being a one to become a king, everyone want to be rich. I guess that every one of us want to be rich, unless like a homeless like me. So everyone will be rich. So everyone want to get that access of the royal property. So once he was just 47, but he was just disrobed. So in a way that he's a very prime bridegroom. So everyone is offering him a daughter or a sister and so. In a way that once he accepted, it means that you have access to his royal property. And then, but in the same time, he also, at the time there is no idea of the monogamy. So that's another thing that is very interesting, because the whole idea of monogamy, whether it is a Buddhist idea or not, because he is so expert in Buddhism, but he accepts, I don't know how many, I can't remember the number of his consorts, his queens, because he can bore up to 84 children. So, in that way, what happened is that once people want access of a royal property, and at the same time, once you marry, in most of in Asian society, marriage doesn't mean that you are marrying with a single person. Once you get wedding or once you get married, it means that you are married with the whole family, whole tribe in some time. So in a way that's the only way that you can spread the power, instantly. If you have, otherwise, how can you fight with the military power? And that's one way, I guess, that my interpretation that the king Mongkut did it. But and he also had, because of his linguistic ability, he has he was able to communicate with all these foreign invaders at the time and able to save the country. So this is the very temple. And then his son, many of his sons became a monk. And one is this very building called Dik Manusayana. Manusayana means that it is his name, that one of the prince's name, and this will become a monk and become a Supreme Patriarch later on. And he's the one who modernized all education in Thailand, modern education in Thailand. And I love the one quote he says, the purpose of modern education, because he was a Buddhist monk, he was praying here in this temple. And then at the time, the King Ramada IV, his elder brother was the king, he says that you are very good at education, but you are educating only Buddhist monks. Come and help me. I need you to help the country again. But he helped without disrobing. So he laid the foundation of modern education in Thailand, all over the country. And the education, he says that, what is the purpose of education? He said that การศึกษาคือสอนให้เด็กวัดและเด็กบ้านเป็นผู้เป็นคน Do you understand Thai? To teach the boys or the children of the temple and children of the householders to be a human. So that is very, very important of education. These days, we lost that very incentive of education. We are educating our children, I don't know, to what. But the very idea of education, this Venerable prince laid in foundation in Thailand is that to teach people, to teach every ordinary human being to be a true human being. ให้เด็กวัดและเด็กบ้านเป็นผู้เป็นคน คน is not only a human but is a quality human. Is a real human. Human in what sense? This building's name isตึก Manusayana. Manusaya is a manut. Manut is a human. What does manut mean? Manut, human in Pali or in Thai means that one who owns the mind of Supreme. Or one who can always improve himself to be a better way of thinking, way of perceiving things. Mind, manut. ผู้มีใจสูง ใจ is a mind. สูง means that higher and higher. It's that horizontally. It's getting upper and upper. That is a human ability, human beings. Which is contrast to what we call is other animal being, Sadirachan, in Pali. Dirachan means that which grows horizontally. So human beings that which grows vertically, go up and up and up and up. Whereas animal beings go horizontally. So you can imagine what is the difference. Once we get lazy, what happens? We try to grow horizontally, don't we? But if we are always trying to improve ourselves, we become, vertically higher and higher. And that is what do we mean by education. And that is what Buddhists trying to give it to Thailand. So from that time, so many other abbots of this temple happen to be royal families. After that, there is another one. He's again a grandson of the King Mongkut. So this temple is in a way that's become a royal temple in a sense, because after the King Mongkut, the King Anai, he disrobed, he made every king, every prince have to become a monk for a certain period and come and study, stay here in Buddhist temple. And then while being a monk, you have to really scrap out all the royalties. You just become a normal, homeless man that you have to beg for your food. Even you are a prince, you have been a king. And this has been practicing so far, even these days. His Majesty King Bhumibol, the present king, was ordained here was ordained in the temple called the Emerald Buddha Temple, but stayed here and it studied Buddhism, the crown prince, everyone. So it's become a tradition. So this is a little bit background of where you are. So you can, if you have a time, you can go around and see some of the places where the king lived and used to live, and it's still they are keep just for any crown prince or any prince or any king who want to ordain, and they have to, if they ordain, and they have to come and sit and live here and study Buddhism here. This very building is actually a museum dedicating to all those abbots of this temple. So from the King Mongkut to other abbot is his cousin, and the third abbot is the one with the one we see the figure here, and the fourth abbot is another royal family, the grandson of the King Mongkut. The fifth family is interesting. The fifth abbot is interesting. Fifth abbot is actually he didn't rule this temple so long, but it's interesting that he is from the Christian family, Christian background from Samut Sangha. But he became abbot, and then he's the one who started Buddhist meditation for public for the first time in Thailand. Generally, when you talk about Buddhist meditation nowadays, I guess that especially with the counseling, you are talking about meditation so much. But if you try to look at the root of meditation in Thailand, you will see that it's a very new idea. It's a very 19th century idea. But before that, meditation is a part of a Buddhist monk, but nobody emphasized so much. It's become a part of us. No, we have to study, we have to meditate. Meditation is a part of our study. And we are meditating in group. Somebody will go to the isolation in the forest to meditate, and it's become just normal part of us. Nobody emphasize as we do these days. And that king, the fifth abbot, actually there is a King Rama, King Mongkut is the first one who says that meditation is a must for everyone, not only for monks. He's the first one to say at that time. Otherwise, it will be only limited in the monks, or even worse, this meditation is done for the sake of a superstition. Consecrate the amulets and consecrate this, consecrate that. So all this kind of superstition is meditation is only relevant in that way. But the King Mongkut says, no, we are wrong. Meditation is to improve our ability. Meditation is the way how we become a better human. Meditation is the way to realize that who you are. Meditation is the way how can you improve your potentiality, your capacity, and so on. So it was King Mongkut who tried to introduce, and then he even wrote a few short articles on meditation, which is still available, but unfortunately it's in English. So, but in the fifth abbot of this temple, not only said in the teachings, but he opened meditation class for general public here in this temple. It's the first time in Thailand. It's around 2,480. I don't know.
60 years ago?
Yeah, about 70 years ago, I guess.
Yeah, 70 years ago.
70, 80 years ago, because it's 57.
58 now.
Yeah. So it was very recent, open to the public. But nowadays, you can see Thailand has changed. Thailand has changed to the retreat sort of a custom. You have a weekend meditation retreat these days. It's become a very sort of a commercialized in one way or another, actually. I guess that is influence from the West, I'm not sure. Because you have really commercial meditation in your own way, and then sometimes I worry that, I don't know, we lost the value of meditation completely in one way or another. So the fifth abbot started that, and it was carried on by the sixth abbot, who just passed away last year. He's a Supreme Patriarch, he was a Supreme Patriarch, and then passed away at the age of 100. And in his body is still enshrined at the moment, because the cremation has to be the royal ceremony, because this very monk was the great teacher of His Majesty the King. So all the decision has to be done by His Majesty the King himself. So we are waiting that when he decides that the cremation should be done. But it's already over 102 or 3 months, but we still kept his body, and people are still coming every day to pay the respect to his body. So this is a sixth abbot that who become another very influential figure in Thailand, who teach Buddhism theoretically, that you got a book called the Sangha, and at the same time is also a meditation teacher who gave a very sort of a new meaning of meditation, in the sense that meditation doesn't need to be practiced in forests, in isolation. Meditation should be in every breath of our way of living. So he was the one who said that what is meditation? Meditation is to know what you are doing, to know what you are thinking, to know what you are speaking. Moment to moment. And that is some kind of meditation. So mindfulness, I guess, that in the West we are using a lot, especially by, I think, the definition by John Kabat-Zinn, that the mindfulness is what? Knowing, to be aware, non-judgmental, moment to moment, at present, or something like that. But as I teach in America time to time as a visiting professor in Santa Clara University. And happened to be my good colleague is another Shauna Shapiro, who is another clinical counseling professor in Santa Clara and doing a lot of these kind of mindfulness things. So I have been, and also the Daniel Siegel, the one who has been always, we always debate a lot when we meet each other because I don't like the approach they are taking. So we always debate when we meet each other. So I have been trying to criticize, I've been trying to sort of saying that the whole idea of mindfulness in Western approaches taking, it of course, it's good that you are taking the whole aspect of religion and culture out of that word, the whole package of mindfulness. But at the same time, it misses a lot, and then a lot of things are misinterpreted. Generally, I guess that the mindfulness by John Kabat-Zinn, as you are aware, I guess that it goes to the intention, attention, and attitude, isn't it? Am I right? Intention, attention, and attitude. And then how do we change that to things? But what I see in the Western approach is that even your intention is not right. Even your attitude is not right. And even intention, attention is not right too. So I have been trying to bit of critical with those ideas, especially in the Western approach of mindfulness. So what I was sort of giving the idea should be mindfulness. Mindfulness, it doesn't mean anything. Because what is mind? I guess that from your field of expertise, I don't know, do you have a mind? How do you define mind? Because in Buddhism, I guess that is a very oriental idea to talk about mind. In the Western, you may talk about soul, I guess. But in East, especially in Buddhism, there is no such thing as a soul. So that's why there is no such thing as a God. Because the soul means that something, there is an entity, something kind of, there is some kind of thing which is permanent. But the whole Buddhist idea is talking about impermanence. Whole Buddhist idea is that the whole dharma is that everything combined. And then when it is balanced, it becomes something. If it is unbalanced, it changes to something else. There is no such thing as what I call this paper. The paper, I define this as a paper, that is mindfulness. It means that I am just validating my memory. I was told from my childhood that you see something like this, it's called paper. It is computerized in my brain or somewhere, I don't know. And then when I see it, bring that memory back and then, make it to the present moment. And then I define this as a paper. But from the true way of understanding, it is an illusion. Because Buddha asked that if there is a paper, can you point it out? Where is the paper? Which part of it is paper? How it become a paper? So that's why Buddhist way of looking at things is that you have to look through it. And for someone familiar with the word vipassana meditation, or it is sometimes translated in English as insight meditation. Vipassana meditation. Vipassana basically simply it means that passana means that seeing, we means that extraordinary. So it means that you see through it. So if you see through it, do we have such thing as a paper? Or to put it more scientifically, if we really disintegrate this paper to something, I don't know, what makes this paper, do we still have paper? So if we understand clearly, I might be able to say that when I see this piece of paper, I might say that I'm seeing a piece of cloud. Why? If there's no cloud, will there be any rains? Without rains, will there be any trees and any plants? Without any trees and plants, do we have any paper? So in this paper, everything is there. But we just narrowed our memory to this kind of paper, and then we stabilize that. This is a paper, and it's become permanent. We hold on, we cling on, we sort of attach to it. It's my paper. It's a very worthy paper, and so and so. And that gives a big trouble, what we call suffering in Buddhism. So that's why, if we see through it, if we realize it, vipassana, if you're inside, introspective way of seeing it, then you will see that what we call things, this and that, there is no such thing as this and that. So that is a mindfulness, simple mindfulness. Validating your memory. Sati, the word in Pali we use. Sati. Mindfulness. Just validating. So when you are in English, you are using a mindfulness in a way that you are not non-judgmental. Know that this is the paper. Know what you are at the present. Being validating your memory and non-judgmental at the present. But I said that no, if you are non-judgmental, what's the point? Just realize. If things are getting bad, if the things are attacking us in a bad way, now just realize the bad thing is coming there. And just realize there's doing nothing there. No. The Buddhist way of meditation is that once you realize, you have to judge. In the process of maybe realization, you have to put yourself away, of course. Because if you put yourself away, means that you are putting your emotions, you are putting your feeling into it. So if you are putting feeling and emotion into it, it will be difficult to see the things as it really is. It might be true. But if you see through the realization of things, then you will know that whether it should be carried on or it should be eliminated. And that is called sampajanya, clear comprehension or introspection. Once you are mindfulness, just means that it is a preliminary. It is just kind of first stage. The second says that you have to do something. Whether you have to stop totally all the negative emotions and eliminate negative emotions, or something is good, beneficial, then you have to promote it, you have to develop it, you have to improve that to be a better human being. So that's why I was saying that the Western approach of mindfulness is very wrong. Because there's no intention into it. You don't have a good intention that how you want to develop. You don't have a good sort of attitude towards it. Because in order to do something, you need to have a good attitude. But the Western way of approaching the mindfulness is become what? To become a better capitalist. To become a better lawyer. To become a better, I don't know, you want, whatever you are doing, you want to be better on that. For what? For more greed. For more aversions. For more delusions. So you are using mindfulness in order to become a very influential bad person. Because there's no judgment. It means that you don't know that what is your intention, what is your attitude towards it. Your attitude is what? How do you live together as a human being in the society? That is what Buddhists talk about. The compassion. The whole idea of compassion. Bhagavato. It's a Pali word.
Say that again.
Bhagavato. The one very popular chanting is Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Every child even can pray that word, but they don't know what does it mean. Even any elder Thai, they wouldn't know what does it mean. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Bhagavato means that one who is fortunate. Bhagavato means that fortunate in the sense that one who can give without conditions. So one who is able to give without conditions means that one who treasures the life of another. To give means that you are realizing the value of other people's life, other life. So compassion in Thailand, in Buddhism, basically means that realizations of other human beings, the presence of other human beings or other beings of any sexual being. So that is the attention we need to develop. Not to develop the ideas that how can we become a good businessman. Yeah, it is good in terms of business. I guess that you can apply to that. That is a side benefit. The true benefit of mindfulness, or what we call nowadays, I noticed that many of my colleagues now they are using instead of using mindfulness, now they have been using the mindful awareness. Now they have developed it, I guess. It's not only mindful, but you have to be aware of what you are doing. You have to have your judgmental, you have to have your attentions, you have to have your intentions, you have to have your sort of attitude towards it. So once you have done that in a way that then only then you can improve who we are by defining what? By defining that who you are is defined by all your surroundings. We are become a human because there's another human. We are not a human because we're born as a human. No. There are so many others. It's notorious. There are so many people who born human, but they are worse than the animals. I go to prison every month. I counsel those inmates in the prison. And one of the prison I go is that death penalty prison. Over 5,000. There are over nearly 3,000 are death penalty. Heaviest criminals. So all my students are very dangerous people in this island. All my students are the drug dealers. All my students are the killers in a very nasty way. Even I asked that, how can you just, put gun to someone's head? He just answered that, very easy. You don't have to think anything, just put and then shoot it. How do you learn how to shoot? I said, no need to learn. Are you born to be a killer or what? I don't know. And that is some kind of mentality they have in this. And when you think that, because it means that they are losing the whole idea is that, the idea of the soul, the idea of self is there. So they are also thinking themselves. If they are able to think of the compassion, if they are able to think that because he is because there is another one. The conditionalist aspect of Buddhism. He was able to do that. When I see in Thailand mosquitoes a lot. If a mosquito bites, in your reactions, what happened? Without any intention or attention, I don't know, you just slap it. And so that you don't have that, you don't honor of that light of this tiny mosquito. But as a Buddhist idea, we have to be aware of that. And Buddhist practices, it teaches us that if mosquito bites, see it with compassion. It doesn't mean that you are allowing to shock the blood. And of course we can. We donate the blood, sometimes 400 cc, we don't mind. But how much it will take with the mosquito if we compare to the reality? But we are not, our mind is not widened that enough to feed that mosquito. Because I guess that we'd have a reaction with the mosquito even worse. So what I do is that instead of slapping, I just look at it and then I can do is that blow it away or just make it go instead of slap it and kill it. Just honor the mosquito. Because mosquito has its own spheres of its own. Not only we are not living here, this is not our world. We are who we are because of all these things. That is the compassion in Buddhism. And mindful awareness basically means that. You should be able to know your presence relevant to the whole surroundings. The purity of your mind. Again, the word mind. I don't know what you mean by the word mind. I don't know. But from Buddhist point of view, the word mind, citta, is the same word as thinking, perceiving, memory. That's a word mind. That's why Buddha says that whole this world is mind-made. There is no such thing like this world. We mind-made it because based on our memory, based on things. I will give you one anecdote, a story, which when His Holiness the Sangha, the Supreme Patriarch, when he appointed me as his secretary around nearly 25 years ago, I guess, while I was still young and energetic. I asked at the time, the computer was just coming out. There was no window yet. The Microsoft window is not there yet. It's a very blue screen with all this, and there is no kind of internet like these days. It's a modem with a ding. It's very old stuff. So, but I learned about something about computer from the people who came to ordain here for temporary, and I thought that it would be very helpful to have a computer in the office. So, but at the time it is very weird. Monk and computer doesn't go together. Everyone think that a monk is isolation, monk is that meditate, monk is that all this computer is visiting. Even the mobile phone, when it comes out, it was a big sort of scandal if the monk used a mobile phone. I don't know how people have that perceptions that a monk is somebody is very unusual or what, I don't know.
Not a human.
Yeah, I don't know. Become a monkey or what? So we can use these things. But I was, explored that computer, and I thought that it can help me in my work line a lot. But how to bring that computer in this temple? So it is very weird, and it is just like bringing a satan into the very sacred. That's how the people perceive at the time. So one day, I found very quiet evening that there is no obstruction, there is no disturbances, and then I make sure that His Holiness is in very good mood and everything. So in the evening, in my normal sort of discussion with him, I said that, Your Holiness, I need one more equipment in the office. Actually, I have already contacted the company secretly, one who imported the compact, the company called Olympia, I think the Olympia company, something the compact from America is imported. It costs 16 KB, it cost something around 300,000 baht at the time. So I have contacted, and then he is willing to offer to the to the temple. So, but I just want to convince His Holiness that how I can, he allowed me to use that computer. So I went that I need a new equipment in the office. Can you allow us to have this new computer? And it was, what a new equipment? What is that? I said, it's called computer. And he asked, what is that? So I was so proud that I know something my teacher doesn't know. So I tried to explain what computer works. And there's a screen, there's a keyboard, there's a hard disk, there's a software, there's a hardware, and so on and so on. So I proudly explained, and then I asked him, can I have it? He just, his facial expression changed. At the time he was 70. And then he just becomes silent, quiet. While he becomes silent and quiet, my heart thumping very hardly. So what will happen? What will happen? I'll be penalized for that? I'll be punished for that? And according to his nature, then he slowly says that, well, I think you better meditate. I asked for computer, but his answer is to meditate. So I thought that today, my bad luck. I will be penalized for that. I will be given a big lesson. So what can I do? I have already started. So I have to receive the call, the effect of what I started. So I said, okay, well, I will. Then His Holiness says that, well, you said that there's something to input the data in the what you call computer, don't you? Yes, Venerable. Yes, His Holiness, Your Holiness. What is that? It's called keyboard. Well, in fact, do you realize that you do have a keyboard from the birth when you are the first day you are born? You do have a keyboard within yourself. You don't need to have an extra keyboard. So I went, what do you mean by that? Then His Holiness says that, well, what a keyboard does. Keyboard does the function of keying the things put into the computer to the hard disk. Well, your keyboard does the same thing. What is your keyboard? Your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your ear, your touching sensations, and your thinking. That is your keyboard. And your keyboard is so powerful than any other keyboard in this world. While you are listening to this, even the sound of these plastics is already gone. Whether intention or not. The sound of echoes, sound of somebody's, while I was talking, the people are moving, it's already gone. I don't want those distractions. But my keyboard is so sensitive that it's keeping. So he said that the problem of your system is that you don't have a good system to calculate all those, to work with all those data which you are putting in without intention or intention. So the whole idea of meditation, of mindful awareness, is basically that computerize. Compute all those data in a more sensible and valuable way. So what you call software is basically, it's called meditation. You do have hardware already, but you need, I said that go to meditate is that to develop the software so you can use whatever surroundings of you, whatever your experience, whatever you're seeing, listening, hearing, and smelling, everything, it makes sense in a more positive, in a more creative way. And that is the computer. Then while he was explaining that, then he changed the story. He said that, do you dream sometimes? I'm already realized that he's not going to penalize for asking the computer anymore. So I said, yes, Your Holiness. I sometimes dream that even in dream I can fly. And he just gave a small smile and he said that, well, if I use your language, the dreaming is your data error. I was so proud that I knew something which my teacher doesn't know, so I'm totally, gone that pride. So that's something that if you are, if you dream, is a data error. And then I said, how come? He said, well, when you are aware, when you have a consciousness, you have recorded that man walks, the birds fly, the aeroplane fly. That is when you have consciousness, you have a mindful awareness fully. But when you sleep, your mindful awareness is gone. You have become unconscious. Once you become unconscious, you are computing all your information in a very wrong way. The way you want. If in the dream someone is chasing you so hardly, then you can put the action of flying and you can fly and run away and fly away the things because you want it. So that's why the whole world is mind-made. So everything is, what we are saying is that we are, because of our creativity, because of our inputting a lot of things. Like yesterday, when I'm coming back from the taxi from the airport last night, the taxi driver asked me a very weird question. He said that, Venerable, may I ask you a question? I said, yes, of course, go on. Is there such thing as a ghost? I said, why? Are you afraid of it? Yes, I'm very afraid of it. And have you seen one? No. Then why are you afraid of it? But I just want to know that there is a ghost or not. I said that I'm not entitled to answer your questions whether there is a ghost or not. If there is one, you create it yourself. If there is one, you are not creating it. So I said that imagine if you have never heard a story of any ghost, whether there is a ghost or not, it is relevant to your life or not. You never heard any story of a ghost. So no. Then, why you are worried about the ghost? Because you have learned so much. You have heard so much. You read this ghost story. You watch the ghost Thai movie. And immediately all the ghosts appeared. You created your own. The true ghost is your mind-made ghost. The true ghost is that you make all those data and jumble up and things come up without your intention. So that is the mindfulness. Okay. So how it reflects in the Thai life. So those ideas of Buddhism, is true Buddhism. It is very good. Actually, it is very humanistic approach. But when it comes to Thai, as a Buddhist religion, majority Buddhist religion, what it happened is that it diluted things because people don't like the truth. People don't like the truth. People don't want to talk about the death, for example. And the Buddhist says that you have to contemplate on the death every moment. You should not be afraid of death. The Buddhist says that death is a bonus you already got when you were born. So it depends on when you want to use that bonus. So why should we not talk about death? Death is a normal phenomenon. When we talk about our way of thinking, way of living, so in a way that what we do, all those bringing those data and make sense to our own, and that is the mind music. So mind is not something that like soul, not separate from your body. I am a Buddhist monk, amidst of all lay. And that Buddhist monk, it's become meaningful. Because I'm the only one here. I'm the center of the focus. But in this hall, full of monks, does my monkhood has any specialities here? No, everyone is monk. We are just living as monk. So the whole idea of realizations and whole idea of how you relate with others, meaning that every piece of data, information we have gathered, and then how your mind made those data. And the way you sort of transform, the way you create those data or information is based on 3 incentives. And that is in Buddhism called mental defilement, kiled. Mental defilements. One is that because of our human nature and every animal or any creatures, everyone wants to live. I don't know why. Although we know that we have to die one day, but nobody wants to die. And when dies come, we cry buckets. In fact, there's a Tibetan way of saying, when we're born, we know that we are facing for suffering, we cry about it. But everyone else become happy. We have a newborn, we have new members. But along the way, if we realize things, what we do is that we should be able to die with smiling, not dying with the same way we came in to the world, crying again, if we realize. So, the idea is that when you bring those informations, and then those information is sort of infiltrated by the way you want. You want is very important. Because suddenly you is very obvious and big. It's become irrelevant because I and you, there is some kind of I want. When you have an I and you are dominating everything because I want, and that is called greed. So the whole information is sort of, infiltrated by this idea of greed. Once you have a greed, if you want it, if you desire it, you get it, you become happy. If you don't get it as you want, you started to agitate. And if agitation is getting, worse, then you get angry, you become hatred. Why I can't have this? I'm entitled to, and so and so. So the second sort of mental department started to play the role because of I want. If I don't have it that, I become angry. Angry at myself, angry at others, angry at the system, angry at everything. Once I was interviewed by the TV crew from ABC, Australian Broadcast Corporation or something like that. And this anchor, it's a lady, out of her blue, she turned up in the temple and then searching for me. And then she said that she wanted to interview me about noise pollution in Bangkok. Why? Talking about noise pollution, I'm a Buddhist monk. And after talking a while, I realized her idea is that she wants to use my credit or sort of my mouth as a Buddhist monk to criticize the system, the government. That why there is no control of this thing, this because of noise pollution is so bad. But being a Buddhist monk, I'm not used to criticize people. I don't want to see things in a more negative way. I'm a more kind of optimistic man. So I said that, well, if you really want sort of a place where there's no noise pollution, that's what you're really looking for? And then she said that yes, because you see, look at that, the sound of the tuk-tuk sound of and making the noise pollution, and it's very difficult. Well, I said that, then why do you choose to live in the city? Well, you have a choices. If you want, it means that if you have something on noise pollution, it is relevant because you are talking about comparing with somewhere there is no noise pollution. And if you have that choice, why you come and live in the city at the first place? That's the first question I put forward. And then second question, I don't want to challenge her too much. So I said that, okay, I don't know, if there is a guardian angel appeared, because you are so good intentions, you are talking about this, making this world so pretty and, it is favorable for people to use it. If there is a fairy tale, there's a God, angel, come and give you, grant you the blessings that you can ask you one blessing, whatever you want. And as you are coming here, is that you want a noiseless sort of some places that without a noise pollution. And if you ask that, and then the angel granted you Abhadagrama, then this is suddenly when you come out of house, there is no single car in the road. There is no single human being in the road. It was free, very quiet. No noise pollution at all. Free of noise pollution. Do you want to live there? Do you want to live there? You want the noise pollution, isn't it? So you have to take the consequences of what you are doing. So when you talk about something, it means that you have to relevant what you really want. Because when you have a you, I, suddenly you want that, you want this, without thinking of others. And that is the Buddhist sort of idea is trying to give the very important idea of how you build your world around yourself. So this idea of noise pollution, for example, is relevant because you want that way. And you want in a way that you disregard all other things. Because you want to keep the way you want it. But things that doesn't go as you wish all the time. We are not angels. Even the angel, even the God, they don't have the world as they really wish, I guess. Because even the God sometimes get angry. Why, I don't know. As a God should be angry, less God. But in every stories, in every culture, God get angry. And He don't please things specifically. So in a way that even the God has a wish. Wish is always selfish wish. So that infiltration is how we reduce that. So those kind of Buddhist teachings, when you come to Buddhist society, like in Thailand, you can see it differently. The way Thai took it, and the way I explained to you, based on the theory and the true spirit of Buddhism. When it diluted to the Thai life, what's happened is that, for example, you can see why Thai people are so kind of easygoing. What you call this culture of my pen right. My pen right, if somebody happens, that's all right. It doesn't matter. And that is the whole idea is that Buddhism is teaching about impermanence. And there's a good and bad in Thai society. Impermanence is that you done things seriously. So that's a good when you have something bad happen. But then sometimes good things happen in Thailand also. Sometimes you become so late if you have, but you are as a Western culture, because you are on time before 9. But if a Thai, they will turn up 9:30 or 10 and say that, oh, I've been right, and then we said that we just blame that, oh, traffic is so bad. There's nothing to do with the traffic. If you know that traffic is bad, you started early. But that is because of a culture, it's called my pen right. You say it doesn't matter, that's all right. The whole idea of forgiving started there also, my pen right. So for a lot of Thais, those Buddhist values sort of diluted in a system, in the cultures. For example, in order to respect others' life, you can see that in Thailand, people always taught from their childhood to see that why, if somebody come, greet. It's a line. In one time, the journalist from Germany came to interview His Holiness. And then the journalist put the very straightforward questions to His Holiness. Now, I was an interpreter at the time. And then the journalist asked that, Your Holiness, Thailand is very famous for being a Buddhist country. Statistically, they say that 95% are Buddhist. But we have been here a few days and we went through all the Buddhist temples. And what we see in the Buddhist temple is all the old folks, close to death. They come and sit and I don't know, they're listening and they're, where is Buddhism? We don't see Buddhism in Thai society. While Thailand is claiming that 95% are Buddhist, we don't see any Buddhist element in, just for example in temple. And His Holiness just smile and says that, well, you are looking at the wrong places. You don't find Buddhists in the Buddhist temples. Buddhist temple is kind of symbol. The true Buddhist, he said, is in every blood of Thai people. Those journalists went weird. What do you mean by that? Well, since you arrive in Bangkok, since you arrive in Thailand, how you interact, what is the experience of interacting with the Thai people? They are gentle. They are smiling, easy smiling. They are kind. They are helpful. I said, yeah, you see, that's all Buddhist teaching there. They are not only a civilized kind of a secular value, but those secular value is taught in religious teachings, which become a Thai custom, which become a part of the Thai. So sometimes it's very difficult to see the Buddhist value, the way the monks are teaching in the Buddhist temple, and the real life. But if you are really scrutinize this, and you will see that it is because of what they were taught. For example, they taught about the karma. Karma is very big sort of difficult to understand. Karma literally just means action. The actions which bore reactions, cause and effect. But the cause and effect of karma in Buddhism is more subtle than what we understand. Because karma is very common, even in Hinduism, even in Jainism. If a Jain karma is that you can't do anything. Like Jain ascetics in India. They refuse to wear even a robe, even a piece of cloth. So those Jain ascetic is become all the naked ascetics. They walk naked. They say, why? Because if I have to find a piece of cloth to wear, I have to make a lot of causes. And maybe in the process of making this piece of cloth, maybe a lot of bacteria even in the past died. So I shouldn't create that karma. If I make that karma, if I create that karma, I have to accept the reactions of that karma and it will be not ending. So the ascetic Jain, the Jain principle is that non-action. So not to do anything. So they reject to wear the robe. And then being a part of ascetic and a Buddhist monk, I guess that in India and everywhere, not only these days it's become a change. These days to shave hair become a style of hairstyle, I guess. When I'm in Japan, I noticed that I don't know, a lot of Japanese, they love to shave the hair. Unlike in Thailand. In Thailand, in temple, you will see the style of shaving the hair. And those ascetic in Jain ascetic also, part of it is that part of our asceticism, part of our Buddhist mind as a monkhood, is that you have to shave your head. Like myself this morning, I shaved my hair with a very sharp gillette myself, very clean, very easy, no pain, no tickle and all. But those Jain ascetics says that no, we can't do that. Because in order to get that piece of the gillette, I have to create a lot of karma. And then I have to accept the result of that karma. I wouldn't end my story here, so it will be go on and on and on. So what I do? I pluck it. That is to torture yourself in our language. But that is the religious practice with the Jain believing on the same principle of karma. But in Hinduism, what happened? Karma means that a circle. Karma means that one thing goes around, comes around. The karma. But Buddhist karma is totally different in that sense. Buddhist karma is that the karma means that our consciousness is karma. Our perception is karma. Our intention is karma. The word of the Buddha is that Chetanaham Bhikkhave Kammang Vadami, which is that what I call karma is intention. So that's why I said that earlier that in the Western approach, you are talking about intention, because there is no intention that the way the Buddha is talking about. The Buddha's way is talking about intention is the karma. That is the root of the karma. If you are, for example, in many cultures we have a heaven and hell. And through Buddhist idea, there is no such thing as heaven and hell, I guess. Because the way Buddha explained is that now you are listening and looking at many faces. There are only few. I see that starting getting bored, I guess. But many, I guess, that they are getting interested, and then you are eager. You are eager to learn. And the way I'm trying to pull your concentrations, and you totally forget everything. I'm trying to put all your intention in one place. You see? You forget the pain, you forget hungriness, you forget tiredness, you forget sleepiness as you have to wake up early this morning. You forget it, your intention, you see? And then through that intentions, the only attention only, I'm pulling all attentions, and then to make you listen carefully, intentions. And once that attention and intention works, the result will change. Okay? Although my English is not my mother tongue. So the way I speak, sometimes there's a lot of mistake in a grammatical mistake. I'm sometimes using the words in the wrong way. But because of your intentions, because of your attentions, I'm sure that you can make sense of what I was speaking, what I'm speaking. And that leads to something else. And that is how you start the karma. So the karma means that the heaven and hell at the same time, from Buddhist point of view. But you are listening, and while you are listening, you forget everything. It's become a heaven. The word God, angel in Buddhism, very interesting. It says that the Devata, Tevada, means indulge in sensual pleasure. That is etymology of the word Tevada, or the God or angel in Buddhism. So if you are addicted to the computer game and you are indulged with that, that is a God. That is an angel. And the same as you are indulging yourself in listening, eagering to know. So you forget everything. That is a heaven. You created by yourself. But you are denying the way I am speaking. The way you are thinking that when this monk is going to shut his mouth, the hell appears in front of you immediately. You are agitating. You are moving around. You want to look around. Your attention is gone. Concentration is gone. That is the karma in Buddhism. It doesn't mean anything that you have to wait for next life or wait for anything. We said that how your intentions, you build up your intentions, and once you build up your intentions, that second, you already get that result in a good or bad. So the intentions, the karma starts in a very, if I put in a very systematic way, is that I noticed that somebody just coming in this room. That is, okay, that just I have to see the movement there. I don't have intention yet. But when I see that, I want to use it here as an example. You see, my intention is already gone. So I have already seen that who is coming in. That's girl coming in. Immediately there is a girl, idea of the girl is there. And if my intention is bad, I say that, whether that girl is beautiful or not. And I can go on and on and on, and it will lead to something else on and on and on. So once you have something registered, any movement, any information, any data, that is not intention yet. But once you register that, value that you have seen, immediately the mental department started to work on there. Whether you want or you like, you don't like. So at that critical moment, you can change the consequences, you see. So that's why the mindful awareness is so important, that you know there and you can stop or you can carry on. You can continue. And that is the whole idea of the word Buddha. And I don't know why in the Western, in America, I don't know who this guy put ism after the word Buddha. Totally different things. Buddha means that knowing, realizing the truth there. But when you put ism, it's quite bad. It was in American dictionary I found in 1828, the first appearance of Buddhism. In Encyclopedia Britannica in England, it found in about 1835. So it was American, I guess, who defined the word Buddhism, and then who gave the word ism to the word Buddhism is very, very important. So the word idea of Buddhism, when you see in Thai society, you can see that from the childhood, you are taught, just like His Holiness says, that you can see that every drop of blood of Thai people are Buddhism. It's that you are trying to teach them from the childhood to honor others' life, to respect others' life. Sometimes it's very difficult, very, very bad, but generally we try to do that. And that is a part of the Thai. And once you are able to realize some kind of value of others' life, of course, then you can give a smile. So that's why it's a famous Thai smile is very important. They are not grumpy. When I was studying in England, people always say that English people are so grumpy all the time. They don't smile, unlike French. But in Thailand, as we are taught that, so we are always give respect to the other's life, and it will make it so easy for us to kind of give a smile. And then when we greet each other, bowing each other, to nom, the word nom, namo, actually the same word. Means that when you greet each other, means that it is not a joining of your hands, palms and alone. It is not like shake hand and show that you are, armless, you are sort of you are free, not dangerous sort of things. But when you put your palms around and give a wide window of each other, in Buddhism is that you are accepting the existence of another human being. Because that is mind in Buddhism. Mind, in one way, once explained by His Holiness, is that suppose that if you are sitting under a tree, mango tree, for example, and suddenly mango fell down, drop off, and your ear hear that, you see that. You see, your ear already go and pick it up. Your eyes go pick that up. And suddenly, your whole body, your arm, go and reach it. That is the whole idea of the mind. You see? Things, something happened, something you're hearing, something you're feeling, something you're smelling, immediately it goes out. And pick the things, whether it is good or bad. If you can control that very things, is the very practice of Buddhism. But in Buddhism, in Thai society, it's called, just give a why. So to give you that, you are feeling others' one's feelings immediately. It is not shaking hand and good morning, but your feelings towards other one. You are already saying that, paying your respect, accepting his presence. That is the meaning of such a greeting. Sawadee, for example. What is sawadee? And immediately you say this, when you say sawadee, I guess that many Thai people doesn't know what does it mean. Just been a word of greeting. Sawadee is swa is a Sanskrit. Asti. This means that be. Swa means that good. Happiness. May you be happy. You see. Immediately when you greet that, you are already referring to other people that may you be happy. So once you throw the happiness, immediately the happiness come back to you. And that is how we regard each other in Thai society. And that's why when we give a smile, the smile come back to you. That is how infiltrators become influence the way of Thai people. And just as I said that impermanence, it's also sort of a shape the way how the Thai people think. That's all right. Give it. The way we were taught to donate to the temple. When you see the monks, you give some things. It is a way of training. Always training to what? Training to reduce your greed. It's not only things that a Thai Buddhist means that meritorious or doing merit. What does merit means? Merit doesn't mean something that you earn something which is, in the next life or whatever. No. The training you were taught from your childhood is that to respect the other lives. You give means that you are reducing a bit of your greed. It doesn't mean that in others giving because of something. You are giving to cleanse your mind. And that is how Buddhism was taught in Thai society. So people are always ready to give. For example, there are so many Buddhist monasteries in the West. And all those Buddhist monasteries, how they survive? Unfortunately, they survive based on all this Asian mentality, not from the Western mentality at all. Because all this Eastern world thought that we have to generate, we have to donate, we have to give. Once I was teaching in Australia, and people come and like you guys, you come and teach and listen to the very interesting, Dhamma talk and so on and so on. So I noticed that if the Thai people come, they will have this helping mind and doing and that. And sometimes we never ask a donation, they will put a donation box. So I noticed that these people are very, very pious to learn things. But I said that, don't you donate? Because we never ask for donations. But do you have the idea of donations? And, looking after the monk, like all Asians do. And then that one of these Australian guy looked at me very strangely. And then he just gave me a very, very bad truth. Said, who are you that I have to look after you? Even my parents I didn't look after. They still look after my parents. And then who are you? So that I have to look after you. What's wrong? That is really awakening truth for me. And it means that the Western culture, in many of Western culture, I guess that you are taught in a way that you are central focus, not anybody else. But in my cultures, no. We have to always referring others. So that's why I can live very happily. Like this morning, I went out for my alms. I got food. And then I can feed you all, I guess. So much today is being a Sunday. I don't know why people think that the only monks only eat on Sunday. I don't know. Because it's their convenience, so everyone is living on the food. So I can't carry. So someone helped me to carry. I got about 3-4 big bags. I said that enough. People I still want to give. I said that enough. Wait for other monks to. I can't eat that much. If I eat that much, I'll be, I don't know, monster. So that is, always willing to give. And willing to give, a lot of people think in a way that is making them bun, making them merit, in a more spiritual, more kind of superstitious ideas. But in fact, what it trains is that make us easy to accept others. That is in Thai society what you see. That's why Thai people are always welcoming. Is always giving. Yesterday on the plane, I was in the night, and because there's a meal, and the stewardess there came and asked me that, Venerables, what sort of a time zone you take? I said, what? Because I want to take the food because it's at night already. So I said, no. If I can choose the time zone, I can eat all the time then. I take the local time, and then he just smile, oh sorry, I understand that. And suddenly, because he was so, I'm fine, I have been a Buddhist monk for what? For over 40 years. So I don't have a trouble without, not having a dinner. But people always came and said, so what can I give you? I said that I'm fine. So then they started giving, bringing, I don't know how many teas they have in the plane. So all big tray of tea has, what? Coffee, tea, juice, and so many. And somewhere else they're still coming there, the Venerable Sir, can you have a cheese or something, anything? You see, the idea of that sharing make you that you want to give, you want to take care. And that is what you call kindness, the gentle, the compassion. It is built in a Thai Buddhism or Thai society without knowing any sort of a background of where it comes from, the Buddhist values. So you can see a lot of these Thai values or Thai customs here, which is closely related with the Buddhist ritual sometimes. And then those rituals, for many, would understand, take it as part of rituals. But that ritual also taught those Thai indirectly how they behave themselves too. So it has a very close connections here and there with those teachings. So I guess that one thing in that way, what happened is that in Thailand, if you are in Thailand, it will be very difficult to get employed, I guess, especially counseling.
Get what?
Get employed.
Oh,
you wouldn't
okay.
get a job. Because in Thailand, counseling means that you are mad, you are crazy. Once you are mentally broken, only then you go to the real counseling. But in Western approach, we are mad every moment. So you need to have counseling every time. So the craziness is abnormal here in Thailand. So you wouldn't go for counseling. I have people come to see me time to time. It is all different for different reasons. And what I do as a Buddhist monk is a work of counseling. I don't have a counseling training, but it's a part of me. It's a part of Buddhist monk. Sometimes they come and ask, what to invest even. And I say, what? I don't have any knowledge of investment. I don't have any knowledge of sharing, the share market. But sometimes they just want some kind of, mental support. And when they come, they still do monks. Sometimes they bring their new girlfriend. I said, should I go with this one? Because the old one I don't like it. Because I was noticed that last month he brought one is a different one. And why this month he's bringing a different one? I had a friend. So he wants some kind of assurance. And that's all what you call counseling actually. You want to invent something, come and ask monk for assurance. Just last week, before I go to Japan, one family called me because my number is in the sort of information sort of center of Wat Bowon. I don't know why, who put it, I don't know. So I always get all this weird call. So that, one of his sisters just gave a birth to a child and they want to name for the child. And then what should we do? So they should come to temple because if they are now in the upcountry, but the system wanted by tomorrow to give a name. So I said that why can't you think for yourself? In my mind I was thinking that why can't you think for yourself? You can go through all this long trouble to make a baby, but once you have a baby, why can't you give a simple name? Why have to trouble to the monk who doesn't have anything to do with the making process of making baby at all? But that is the experience they want. So I said okay. And then I said that, okay, what do you want? So what information I need? So actually, I just said that, okay. Just make it, most trustworthy. I said that I need the name of the father, I need the name of the mother, I need the date of birth, and I just calculate their names and here and there, which actually, nothing. There's just custom. Was that it's a Sunday, it should be this word, so there's some kind of this traditions in Thailand. So I just use that simple tradition, it doesn't mean anything, but I make some word which make it very meaningful out of all those words. And I gave her 5 words, and I said that, send your email. So I just sent her the email, and then she was so happy, so that once she comes back, she will come, and then so nice, name are so nice and so meaningful, and so on. Suddenly, it makes that very family so happy. And that is a counseling job we do. Is it? You run out of any idea where you turn to, go to Buddhist monk. So that's why the real counseling work in Thailand is that only they will go to see you when their mind is mental broken. So suddenly I don't know what happened this few months ago. I had a chronic cancer patient came to see me on the 4th stage, the final stage of the cancer. He's in the sinus cancer or something. And then he has to go to surgery and he has to go through this, cancer treatment. And just before, a day before he had to go through the cancer, so he came to see me and said that, please bless me because I'm going to get this treatment of cancer. I don't know whether I can come back or I don't know. And then I said that, sorry, you came to the wrong place. I can't bless you. Because if I can bless, I'll be God. I can bless you. But I can give you something which change your mind, which change your perceptions. So I went through talking with him nearly about 3 hours with his girlfriend. And after 3 hours, he said that, thank you, I'm ready to go to the treatment. Whatever it is happening, I will do. And suddenly after 6 months, he went through the all severe treatment, and he's now very okay, he's very good. So he put all these things in his Facebook. So suddenly, now people turn to me, it's all this, the cancer is the last stage of the cancer. Just 10 days ago, another one came to me. I said, how? I'm not a doctor. I don't know the cancer. What is this? All those things. And then she's also already got what do you call this, some treatment which make you chemotherapy. Yeah. And you see how all her hair is gone, and then so thin. I don't know. Bring her very fragile body to see me. And then I said, that's what's wrong. So she said that she can't sleep, She's biting her teeth every night, and she sees that there's 2-3 people come and see her every evening, and then it is surreal that she can't sleep at all. So what shall I do? So what I said is that, well, if there's a people there, welcome them. Why you are scared? Welcome them. So somebody is coming to see you, means that somebody is honoring you. Why you are scaring of those unknown people? Be yourself. They are grinding in the street. What can I do? Do you really grind? Or your imagination? Okay, I just said that if you grind your teeth, be aware that you are grinding. Just, instead of, now you're registering what you are recognizing after the things happen. But I said that the thing in a way that while the things happen, you don't have to control anything. If I'm grinding, know that I'm grinding. So I just give a simple sort of ideas and so on and so on. And the next day, again, she put in her Facebook or whatever, somebody sent it to, refer to that, forwarded to me that, I can sleep the best, I slept best night in my life. I didn't grind anymore, I didn't see those things, anything. Now I'm so happy. That is a counseling, which I, as a Buddhist monk, I don't know whether I'm doing the right counseling or not. But this is the way. So I go to the prison. Same thing, I'm doing the same thing. What I told those prisoner inmates, I said that, in fact, I'm also prisoner. I'm in a prisoner of the Buddhist temple. I'm in the wall of the Buddhist temple wall. I can go out freely as other people do. I can do things freely as you guys do, because I have this rule. So I'm in a prison. But only difference is that they are in a prison involuntarily. But my prison is I voluntarily. So just change perceptions. So if you know that why you are in prison, and you can make yourself a heaven. So that's how the counseling in Thailand as a Buddhist monk do, is that trying to let them accept what they are, and then trying to come out of, once you realize the problem, then you can solve that problem by yourself, which in your professionalism, I guess it's called mindfulness cognitive therapy, MBCT. That is what in your professionalism say, but I say that no, I don't put it these very difficult words. I just say that realize who you are, what you are experiencing. Once you experience, you will know the solution for yourself. Because you are able to realize the problem, or you are able to realize the solutions. The problem is that you never realize the problem when you have a problem. You never realize that you are the problem. You're always trying to blame others. You are the problem, you are the problem. I once said in the Thai TV, when they have a political crisis, and it was used as a kind of a short advertisement, give a sharp warning for Thai people on the TV for a long time. I said that what we are doing these days is that we are become blaming cultures. We always blame people by pointing your finger to others. I said that, look at very carefully. When you point finger to somebody, I say, you, where are the other three fingers pointing? Just, you are bad 3 times than the others. The problem is there because it's your problem, not others' problem. And so if you are able to sort of scrutinize that, you are able to communicate that idea, and that's called cognitive therapy. Yes. But I don't put it in the psychological terms, I put it in the very normal way of things. So in Thailand, what happened is that those monks, some monks go through even invent the rituals for that. but I am an anti-ritual monk. So in a way that my ritual will be kind of a counseling as you do. But some of the monks in Buddhist temple in Thailand is that they do a certain form of rituals to make them, less agitated, make them less fears. And sometimes I have to do some weird thing as well, of course. For example, once I was in the prison where they would give a death sentence, where they shoot. And actually, it is very rare it happens. So they asked me that, they want me to visit there and see where they shoot the life, when they have a life penalty, death penalty. So I went there, and then she said, "Please, Venerable, can you do something here?" I said, "What?" Because this is, and they showed all this where they're tied. Nowadays they have the poison injection, they are killing by injections anyway. They haven't done only 1 or 2 cases so far, actually. So I went there, everything, and they said that it's so dangerous here. I said, "Why?" "Because people are killed here, and their spirit is still wandering around here." They said, "It's a ghost." I said, "How you know that it's a ghost?" But with those people, with a short period of time, I can't really teach them. So I said that, "Okay, what happened?" So they tell the story after story. "Oh, this happened, this happened." So what I have to go is that all those places, and what I do is that I give my loving kindness. And then just by doing some kind of a loving kindness practice at a time, I go there, and the people that they already think that it's blessed, and then they said there is no ghost anymore. The ghost is gone. I haven't done anything, actually. They change the perceptions, you see. And that is how the counseling in Thailand works as a Buddhist idea. And that is how the Thai life is built up around, the Buddhism. So Buddhism in Thailand is very difficult in the sense that when I was teaching in Santa Clara, my colleague, the Christian Jesuit priest, always asked me to take some of their classes, because one of the classes they said it is very difficult for them to teach about the religion and society. They always separate religion from the people's life. Just like, religion has another institutions, economy, politics, religion, and another institutions. And it's very difficult. And in American life, the religion doesn't have that sort of, that sort of a value as other economic and politics has a very direct impact on you. The religion doesn't have impact. So religion is always sort of out of interest of the people, and this is difficult to explain to them. So my task is that always I go to those classes and then tell my story, how my life as a Buddhist monk, as a symbol of religion, it is closely linked with the everyday life of the Thai people, everyday life of people wherever I go. I said that is my religion. That religion, I don't need a God. The religion which I can change your perceptions and make your life better. So that is how Thailand and Thai Buddhism and Thai people's life is very embedded. So that's why the monasteries are always open 24 hours. The monastery is a place. Everything's happening in the monastery. If you are run out of your home, become homeless, no place to sleep, monastery is there. If you are hungry, no food to eat, you go to monastery, you will get the food from the Buddhist monks. All the schools, in old days, this was a school before. So we have moved to our building now. And so the schooling is done in the monastery, done by the Buddhist monks. And when you have a life crisis, of course, a monastery. When you become sick, of course, it's a monastery. Go and see, the first thing is to come and see a Buddhist monk. If you're in old villages, the monastery has become a library of the village. You go and you want to newspaper, go to monastery. Monastery used to have a big tower of the clock. So if you don't have watch, the monastery is where you get the watch. So the timing. If you want to throw a party, you don't have a public party like these days in the hotels and so and so. Where you do in a Buddhist temple. So Buddhist temple will cater, doing all the job of catering. Because as a Buddhist monastery is communal, you have hundreds of plates, hundreds of these things, the kitchen utilities. So if you want to throw the wedding party, whatever party, where you go, you put all those things in catering in the Buddhist temple. So the life in Thailand is, the monks, Buddhist temple and Thai life, you can't separate it. You can't say that a religion in Thailand is a part of the institutions, but it is a Thai life, is a religion, and that is a Buddhism. Give some pictures of your question. Any other questions? What time is it? Excuse me.
10 to 11.
Oh, you still have 1 hour.
You have to have lunch?
Because my lunch is 11. So if I miss my lunch, it's that I have to eat tomorrow. So I think that I'm not going to sacrifice.
Thai word has the word dit jai. Ditta. Same thing.
Yes.
And American English does not have a word for that word.
Yes, that's right.
So,
the word mind, that's why I said.
So there's some people trying to describe the word dit jai and like wise heart, intelligent heart. So it is very difficult for me too to explain to people that word dit jai because it is not truly mine.
No, because when you talk about the word chit jai, and because it is misled by the word jai, word jai. Word jai is a heart. The chit jai is another heart. I don't know, mine is here? I'm not sure. Because once I was in Oxford doing a vision professor there, and there was a conference about this psychologist and counseling conference, and I happened to be in that conference, and they are talking about intention and talking about every action there should be intentions. So they are looking at it very finely in a sense that it is really, if there is out of very quick sudden reactions, do we still have intention out of that or not? So like that, they are going in and they are talking about all this brain and you are saying nothing. So I was listening for them a long time, and then it doesn't make sense to me because I'm not a medical doctor. And then if you are trying to put everything emphasizing the brain, so brain must be so important. So all the humanness, kindness, whatever you are talking about, all it came out from the brain. So what if there is a patient with the brain damage? What will happen? So it loses his humanity. So when they are, everything they are putting to the brain, I raise my hand, and then I ask this innocent questions. It's that it means that the brain is so important to us, don't we? I said, yes. I happened to, before that, luckily I happened to read the medical journals. And those medical journals, what I found very interesting is that there is a few percentage of this human being who are born with a defect brain, in a way that who are born without any brain. But they have a normal life. They went through, and there's only sort of a very thin layer of cerebral, fluid. There's only 1 millimeter thick of that, but they don't have the zigzag sort of a shape of brain at all, liquids in their head. But they have a normal life. So I said that, what about these guys? And they have so many cases in the medical journals. And then I'm so sorry to them that, I have destroyed your conference. While they are talking about all this brain, I said that there's all these people, what to do? And first, they are trying to say that it's not possible. Suddenly, I just read it. I have in my hand, I just showed this is all these cases, medical proof. And there's some percentage who are born like that, and they still have normal life. So where this, what do you call it? When you're pointing here, it means because the mind is a brain. But I don't know, it's another brain. It is what I call this just like a paper.
Yes.
It is a combination of things. It's a relevancy. It is dependency. So you create a cause by different things. Work together. Once it works, it has a different impact. So that's why the mind, it means that something which makes sense, I guess. Sense to us, sense to yourself. So it is not, for example, if you are talking about the Nuer tribe in Africa, I don't know, somebody has heard, I'm an anthropologist, so I know all these weird sort of tribe around the world. So if I just came out with this word Nuer for Thai people, it doesn't mean anything. Because they don't have that sort of information in their head. Whether they are there, whether there is not exist, they are existed, it isn't relevant to them. But I'm an anthropologist, I have learned about their existence, I have learned about their culture. So it makes a lot of difference for me. The Nuer, those are the people behaving in this way, they live in that way. Immediately, around the word Nuer, there's a whole package of information still. And it's become a mind, you see. Because the mind is another, if you don't have that information, it doesn't bother, exist. So the whole idea of mind, chitta, is that the very moment which give us impulse and then make us realize that is a mind, the process. It is a mind is another thing. Mind is a process. From the like for example, Jain, they believe very weirdly, since that because they are naked, ascetic, and then they sometimes put the mask into their mouth, just like one who has a flu, because they believe that when you breathe in and breathe out, a lot of bacteria goes and die, so to protect them. And they go with they have a peacock sort of feather as a fan to wipe here and there, saying that they don't want to unintentionally step on something or kill on something. But that is a good idea in one way. But I always question that. How do we know that you are not killing when you're stepping, when you're sitting, when you're doing this? I don't know. From the scientific microscope, we can see that there's a lot of millions of bacteria is dying just by cause of my wearing my hands. So it is, if we don't have that idea, then we can do whatever we want. But when we have that idea, I can do this, I can have that awareness, that sort of information, it's become suddenly is valuable, and that's a process of what we call mind. So that's why perceptions I call it. That's why I call it thought. That's why I call it the process of thinking is a mind. So it is not based on the brain or any part of our body, and that's why in Western counseling and a lot of people like Daniel Siegel, John Kabat-Zinn, and so many Coleman, and they are saying that change your mind, change your brain, something like that nowadays days. Because the brain itself you can fix. What do you call this? Plasticity. Yes. Because the brain is just a part of part of something substantial which come out of the process. But the brain is another our mind. The brain is another, it could be a part of our process of thinking, but it's not totally everything there. So we still can make sense as a human being. If if my right arm is cut off by some accidents, I will try to, learn with my left hand. If I born with my defect with my no arms, I still can use my whatever I got it. That is a human being, isn't it? We survive based on what we got it. We improvise our capacity, whatever we born with. And that is the capacity of mind. So that's why your mind over matter. So that's why in sort of a lot of religions, especially in Buddhism, we talk about this mind over matter. So if you're talking about a sickness, and in the last month I was in a prison, and it's a hospital. It's a hospital for inmates. It's a prison hospital, central prisoner hospital. And there's one man is crying so badly, screaming and screaming with pain. Because in normal hospital is already worse, but this is a prison hospital. You have very few doctors, you have very few nurses, and it's pain, it's crying, screaming. So I asked him what it was. And there's some kind of a very rare disease which will make him pain every joint and every piece of his body. So I crying. So and I asked that, have you given a painkiller? Yes, we have given painkiller, but it doesn't have impact. But it will happen time to time, not all the time. When it's attacked, it's very severe pain like that. So this poor man is crying because of pain and nobody can do anything. The nurse is just watching there. So I said that, okay. I said, I hold his head and hand and said, okay. So what happened? He said, I'm painful. I said that, where is your pain? So everybody, every part of your body is pain. Just can you really pinpoint where is it at for me? Then he stopped screaming. Just where I touch. Here. Just trying to find where is your pain. I want to finalize it. If I know where is the pain, I will cure that. I don't know how to cure, but if I know where is your pain, I will consult with doctor. See that there's a problem. So after that, I am trying to scan his body by saying that this here, that here, I said that trying to scan yourself. Where is the pain? Of your leg. I said, which part of your leg? Is it a thigh? Is it a muscle? Is it a bone? Is that the skin? Just try to look at it. When you're trying to really dig there, you can define the pain. Where is it? So it is the mind. Because sometimes it's uncomfortable, of course, but you can get over it by your realization, by your knowledge. Sometimes if you are so weak, of course, the body will take over your mind. And when you get sick, your mind is so grumpy. Even someone is trying to take care, you don't like it, or someone is displeased you and you started to agitate in different way. But if you turn it around, even the serious case of the sickness and disease, you can make it less serious, or you can make it from less serious to none. Like the guy I told you about this, the cancer. I don't know how you get, why you get rid of cancer, but he did, and he just married just last month. And then so that is the mind, I guess. That the mind is not only the heart. The heart is doing the functions of pumping. I guess that's as well. But when we talk about the heart, we have a feeling. I don't know. Even in the word feeling, it's not in the heart.
It's in the mind.
Yes. But when you say the feeling, emotions, where is that? No. In some of the Buddhist texts, they also go into the heart. And there is one text written in around 10th century. It's called Visuddhimagga, the path of purifications. In that book, about 10th century, I'm trying to find where is the mind. And where then he go in that text, he go into the heart. And then that's how he said that the mind is reside in the heart. So if you have a bad emotions, bad feeling, your blood cell will discolor and it's going that way. But actually, that is the way of a Hindu way of thinking. Because you can't really, those kind of, you can materialize those. But you can have actions in a form of matter, of course, through the way of you perceive, through the way of your thinking, through the way of your feeling. That's why we need to have attentions. That's why we need to have intentions. But if you don't have attention and intentions, what will happen is that you can't control over that. Just about a few months ago, there's this neuroplasticity, these people was working on that. They came to see me here and they want to see my brain wave.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I said that, okay, I don't know what's in my brain, I want to see myself too. So they put all the things, and then with this computer, whatever. And then they asked me to do kind of a different kind of exercise. Just relax, meditate without purpose, meditate with purpose, meditate with kind of concentration, meditate without the concentration. I don't know, that goes other things. And after they have done, for all those what they needed, I asked that, so can you tell me what is the result of my brain? I said, you can't tell. So I said, it's an unusual brain. So why? I don't know, because there's the way some of the brain wave we see is that different than our normal brains. And then why? And he said, he don't know. So he said that he thought that because I'm practiced as a Buddhist monk for so long, so I have this, my brain in some part of my brain works different than you guys, I guess. Because we were always talking about compassion, trying to practice that compassion in the practice, not only the teachings. We don't do as the first lesson actually, the first teaching when I go to Santa Clara, because most of my students are the Christian and very sort of fragilous, sort of very pious Christians, families in their kids to Santa Clara. So my first lectures, when I introduce myself, that I am here to take this class, not because I'm a Buddhist monk. My course is on Buddhism. Of course, I said that I'm not here as a Buddhist monk because I'm invited because I have fortunately I have a doctoral degree. I'm a PhD holder. So that's why your university invited me as a professor here. But I'm not here as a Buddhist monk. So what I teach about Buddhism is not different from any Jesuit priest, any professors, anyone who teaches Buddhism is not different. I teach the same thing. But there's only one difference. When those people teach Buddhism, they teach Buddhism as they learn from the text, from the memory, from what they have seen, from what they have read. But when I teach Buddhism, I'm telling you my life. That's our difference. But it doesn't mean that my life is a good life. My life doesn't prove that it is better than yours. But the way how I live, the way how I perceive the world, is the way it is shaped by those Buddhist teachings. And then that is what I teach. I don't teach something what I don't do. So I just share what I do in my daily life, and that is your class. So if you like it, you can try for yourself. If you don't like it, go to the next shop. So that is the difference. From as a Buddhist monk, I guess that you are trained. The pattern of thinking, the pattern of looking at the perceptions may be changed, which I didn't intentionally change that, but because of my habitual. Because I was trained, first it was trained that you have to do this, you have to do that. And then in the first stage of have to do is very difficult because it's going against the grain. You want something in that way, but you have to do it in that way. And that's become, for one who doesn't understand, it's become a problem. But one who understands, it's become a training. Once you train, and for example, as I says that not taking dinner is not my problem anymore. I can sit with all you guys while you're eating dinner with all this, delicious foods and things, but I still can sit with you, and then I don't have any impact, any feeling towards that I'm jealous, or I want to eat, I want to try that. I don't have that sort of idea because my metabolism doesn't work at all. I don't feel hungry in a way. So I still can talk, with seeing you guys eating very happily. And then I can still be happy with you. So those are the training. Before I was taught that as a Buddhist monk you are not to eat afternoon. And when you feel that, you are told that, then you struggle so much. When you part of you become habit. So that's why the whole idea of karma is that. Once you do that, karma, intentions make you habit. It's become part of you. And once you become a habit, it's become your destiny. You see. You can change the courses, what it's going to be. But in the beginning, you find that it's difficult. But if you look at it in the right approach, in fact, everything in this world is possible. That's why I always tell my students. If it is not possible, it's not existing in this world. Whatever people can do, we can do. And in the sense that we can cure ourselves. We can change our perceptions. Same as when I talk to my inmate students, accept the consequences. Happy. Because you are suffering, you are not accepting the consequences of what you did. So I said that start to practice forgiveness. It is not a forgiveness of others, self-forgiveness, I said. Because you are torturing, you are different, you don't forgive yourself. First of all, try to learn to forgive yourself. Delete, wipe out everything, is what you would have done. Look at the world in a new perceptions, new way, new meaningful way. And then suddenly, the things can change. You are in the same place. But things change. If you think that the wall is around me, yeah, I have difficulties. But I think that this wall protects me a lot. Things change in me. So I said that I'm so happy in the Buddhist temple. Buddhist what? Because the construction of the wall, it all filter a lot of things which you have to face everyday life. I don't have to go to the malls because of my monks. It already filtered, it become a habit. So when I go to America, friends ask me to go to the mall, I go sometimes. And then they ask me what to buy things. And then I have my credit card, I have the paycheck from my university. But I came out mostly every time empty-handed. And people ask, why you don't want to buy? No, I don't know what to buy. I don't know, they don't have a robe. They don't have a nice Gucci or Louis Vuitton or whatever. They don't have that robe to buy. I don't know. They don't make a robe for me. So what to buy? I don't know. I go to the food department. I don't know. I just go there and then I just notice people. They go there just to buy a can of orange juice. They look at it. 100% juice, concentrated, half with, I don't know, so many, and then you spend nearly 10 minutes just looking at all those things together, and then you thought that, this is my world, freedom of choices. But I said that I'm not trained to do this because I go out every morning. I go alms. I eat whatever people give. I don't choose. So I am much freer than choosing. So I like the more Buddhist idea of freedom from choices than freedom of choices. And I feel that I'm not kind of my right is not there. I don't have that feeling. You see? So I have a lot of problem when I go to the Western countries. People ask that to be like just a guest of a normal welcoming tea or coffee. I said, anything should be all right. And you don't like that answer, of course. What do you want? I give a right to it. It is your choice it is your right to choose coffee or tea. So I said, coffee. Then another question comes. With milk or without milk? Giving more headache. Then another question comes. 1 spoon or 2 spoons? Oh, it never ends just to get one thing. And that is your world of a freedom of choices. But I said that my life is much easier. I take as it comes. Freedom from choices. And that is trained by Buddhist wall, the temple wall. That is trained by my role of imprisonment. I don't feel that, I'm losing my freedom. I don't feel that I'm losing my selfhood onto that. But, I don't know, it's become part of me, who I am. So in a way that to compassion others, to kind to others, it's become a part of, I don't have to train now. I don't have to think that I have to do this. It's become who I am. And that is how we develop as habitual mind. And in order to habitual mind, of course, you have to train for some time. The training is a difficult process, I guess, because it is against the grain. But once you have done that, it's become part of you. You don't think that you are forced to do that. And that is become what he calls normal. Normalize things. And that is basically what he calls 5 precepts in Buddhism. What he calls precept is a wrong translation. See, this precept in Buddhist term is actually normalizing. We normalize the human way of living. So if you normalize things, so you can take things easily. So it doesn't go against your wish because you have changed your wish. You have changed your attitudes. So I told those inmates that accept that. And then in no time you will forget and you'll be already out because you're behaving in a way that more concerned to others, you're behaving based on your rules. Your time sentence is already reduced because of that. Not because of you want to reduce your time, but because of behaving yourself in that way. You are not creating any trouble, more trouble. Suddenly, your sentence reduced by no time. You already come out of the prison. And then they ended up my place. Come and see me here. And then I told them, do you know that this is a criminal? And people are already scared. So that is, I guess, the mind in Buddhism, Chittai. It is not only things, it's a whole process.
Okay, thank you.
Make you a true human. Yes? Anything else? If you let me talk, I can go on.
Yeah.
No. I can go up to 11, as I told you. So my...
It's 11:15.
11:15? Oh, I see.
Nervous you missed your food.
Oh. Okay. So then you can spend your time, but you know Thai, so most of the time I have in English also. Yeah, all the things are in English too, so you can go and enjoy the things. There's a dual language. I forget that I translate myself. I forget that. So all the abbots are here, and then you can see in the opposite, where is a Papudajanasi, which is about 750 years old Buddha. Is their majestic shrine. And on the way, you will see where the King Mongkut once lived and so on.
Okay.
Yes. Hope that learned something. And I guess that you already got the book, Without and Within. That's a book we did it to put in every hotel rooms.